Corey in the house once again. Chaos Rising. Is that what it's called? Chaos Origin, actually. It's got a bunch of new cards. Nothing special, I believe, but a couple of, you know, stragglers have been revealed. Probably pack filler. Let's have a look here. We've got Grey Layer. Now, is it G-R-A-Y or G-R-E-Y? I spell it G-R-E-Y. I think A-Y is American. Level 4 Light Machine effect, 12/10. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. You contribute this card and then reveal a machine in your hand, and add a machine from your deck to your hand with a different attribute than the revealed monster. Add a machine from your deck to your hand with a different attribute. And if it had that 1200 or less attack, you can special a machine from your hand. If your monster is destroyed by card effect while this is grave, you can banish this and destroy a card in the field. Interesting. So it's basically like a 1.5 card combo Lone Fire Blossom for any machine with 1200 or less attack in the game. Which is kind of cool, I suppose. You can reveal any machine in your hand and then add any machine with the relevant attack points from your deck to your hand with lower attack. So, feels very vulnerable to a lot of cards, I suppose. As a generic machine starter, unless there's some like really specific broken thing you're trying to search, just feels kind of susceptible, you know. Any good hand trap machines, maybe? You can add a hand trap machine, but it needs your normal summon, that's the thing. Unless you can get it out onto the field, which maybe there is ways to just tutor this onto the field. Earth's machine slop, am I right? The thing would have been strong if it wasn't a poor man's Vanquish Soul card made for BES, i.e. poor man's Millennium. So it's a poor man's thing of a poor man's thing of a poor man's thing. So this card is broke. Cyber Dragon, it can unbrick a non-core Sidra and special Chimera. I don't know, this is pretty freaking desperate to say that this is a Sidra card. Wait, is there reactions to posts on Macedo Meta? Funny? Pepela. Nice card. So you have to reveal a BES or non-Victory Viper machine in hand to get the maximum effect, as revealing Victory Viper in hand means you can't search another one as they're all light, and searching a BES doesn't get you the special summon as they'll have more than 1200 attack. This is an awkward condition on very mid card that's part of a terrible archetype. So well worth designing and revealing. Sarcasm. Thank you, John Konami. Instead of giving us more Speedroid support, you instead gave us mid. Fun. Yo, this card's insane if you time traveled back to 2015 and you're playing against someone who was illiterate. Why are they so extreme, dude? I'm trying. So one thing YouTube hates is when you just completely shit on a card or archetype. You know, you sit there, you read it, and you're like, this is absolutely terrible. This does nothing. It's garbage. So I try my best to, you know, at least like see the positives and all the new cards and stuff. But real talk, I don't know. Rosenheim here, they're completely correct. Like, yeah. All right. Lane restriction. This is really funny. We've got Beat Cop giving a ticket to, is this one of the delinquent duos? I don't think so. One of the lore cards from the underworld. Alright, so this is a continuous trap card. Alarm bells, alarm bells. What do continuous trap cards usually do? That's right. Nothing fun. When this card resolves, you can special one of your banished monsters to your rightmost main monster zone. Call the Haunted for banish cards. Nice. If your opponent normal or specials a monster to their main monster zone, they must use the leftmost usable zone. I just feel like this is an awkward floodgate if you can give your opponent a monster, right? So if you, like, give your opponent a card in their leftmost monster... Well, no, because they can still use the leftmost, right? Okay, so I assume the way this works is 5 zones. If I am down here and I give my opponent when the golem is lava, the leftmost zone now becomes this zone, right? So they can still summon monsters here, I believe. So it's not like you can floodgate them out of summoning, because this then becomes the main monster, their leftmost zone. I cannot think of a practical use for this card. It's a Call the Haunted for banish cards, which if I'm not mistaken, that already exists. It's an anti-Elven Note Floodgate. Is that the one deck this card can beat, I suppose. Sure. Anti-Mech Knight card? Yep, okay, cool. There you go. There is a slight mistranslation. The OCG term used to refer to the monster zone as usable, or that can be used, not unoccupied. Okay, yeah, so. Just in case you want a Floodgate to specifically target Elf Note. Can every deck played with the Gorgon of Zolothonia? You right. Traffic archetype confirmed. Atlanta will finally be represented. Traffic archetype. Shoutouts to Fardboy. S-Force support. Fuck Elven Notes in particular. The card. Yugioh Invader's time is finally here. Forcing a column is interesting, and it being a trap wouldn't matter except against turn 0 summoning decks. Like for example, using Raisin to destroy a monster you force them to summon in that column. However, this is unsearchable and has so limited uses that unless S-Force becomes a major player, will likely just be forgotten. The special from Banishment is a nice bonus if it does see play, though. Technically, Pharaonic Advent searches it, but you wouldn't go through all that for this card. Huh. Bomber Girl support. Does this and Kashtira completely lock out summoning? Since the zone isn't occupied, but it can be used... No. That's what I thought it could maybe do, but no. Even if you don't block access to a specific EMZ, this could still trip up players making link-heavy boards. Yeah, man, I guess if you're role-playing fucking, like, what's his name? Yukai? Rain's protagonist? Like, sure. Great card! Unsearchable Malice support? How did you get the Malice support from this? How did you do that? Wouldn't this Floodgate link summoning if the leftmost monster zone isn't a link space? It depends on the situation, the only... blah, 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 blah. More interesting Floodgate Konami that doesn't end the game and makes the game interesting. This and Yugioh Invader gonna go hard. Okay, alright, whatever. This is ass. That card sucked. I'm sorry, YouTube. I try to keep it positive. That card is garbage. Alright, we've got Summer. Not to be mistaken with Winter or Spring. Field Spell. Once per turn, you can play season counters on this card, equal to the number of your opponent's unused main monster zones. Alright, you're going first. No cards on the field. Activate this. You get 5 season counters. Because your opponent doesn't control a monster. Alright, here we go. When your opponent monster declares an attack, inflict 400 damage to your opponent for each season counter on this card, and Spring in your graveyard. Once per turn, during your opponent's end phase, place a field spell that you can place a season counter on from your hand or deck, or face up field. And if you do place this card, season counters on it, but neither player can activate its effects this turn. Okay, I mean, this depends on how good the other seasons are. I think they're kind of neat and cool, but they're not actually playable or good, if I'm not mistaken. We're missing some of them. That's true, I guess. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't see this amounting to anything funny. Card sucks ginormous ass, but it's beautiful and picturesque. Dude, card raters do not hold back. Most likely, they will make autumn and winter during the following years because between summer and spring is nearly a year between its reveal. Just 2 more years and these cards might have a game plan. Oh my god, 4 years total to get a win condition. Why do they bother making cards they know will never be used? To fill up the pack. Other TCGs do this as well, which is why people call them pack filler. Not every card has to be usable, and some can be neat references or lore related like most of old DT cards. Can you imagine the spot the game would be in if they had decided that intentional waste of resources was bad, that every card had to actually have a use case? Things like Warrock might have actually been cool and a good archetype along with most of the other TCG archetypes. Can this guy shut the fuck up, by the way? Why is Warrock taking strays here? What did Warrock do to you? Warrock is a good deck. Card made to be a master do wallpaper. Listen, if the best use of your card is being a wallpaper, then you know, what can we say? When we get in winter. Filler card next. This card is dog water as well, but it has potential to do a very funny OTK, with the OTK being 1/3 turn kill. Okay, guys. All right. Is that the last one? That's the last one. All right. Awesome. Well, that's the new cards. They all sucked. More pack filler. Enjoy.